Mia, Leo, and Pico were going on an adventure. They had been planning this trip for weeks, and the day had finally arrived. The excitement was palpable as they gathered their backpacks and headed to the airfield. Each of them had a special role to play in this journey. Mia, the oldest, was the navigator. Leo, with his keen eyes, was the lookout, and Pico, the youngest, was the cheerleader, always keeping spirits high. They were going to fly in an airplane. Not just any airplane, but the most colorful one they had ever seen. It was a magical airplane that promised to take them to places they had only dreamed of. As they approached the airplane, their hearts raced with anticipation. The airplane stood gleaming in the sunlight, its vibrant colors reflecting their excitement. The airplane was big and colorful. It looked like a giant bird ready to take flight. The body of the airplane was painted in bright hues of red, yellow, and blue, making it look like a flying rainbow. The wings were adorned with intricate patterns that seemed to dance in the light. It was a sight to behold, and the children couldn't take their eyes off it. It had stripes of red, yellow, and blue. Mia couldn't stop smiling. She had always loved colors, and this airplane was like a dream come true for her. She imagined all the wonderful places they would visit and the adventures they would have. Her mind was filled with images of far-off lands and magical creatures. Leo's eyes were wide with excitement. He had always been fascinated by airplanes and the idea of flying. He couldn't wait to see the world from above, to soar through the clouds and feel the wind in his hair. He knew this was going to be an experience he would never forget. Pico jumped up and down ready to go. He was the youngest, but his enthusiasm was unmatched. He loved the idea of an adventure and couldn't wait to see what surprises awaited them. His energy was infectious, and soon Mia and Leo were jumping up and down with him, their laughter filling the air. They couldn't wait to soar through the sky. The thought of flying high above the ground, looking down at the tiny houses and trees, filled them with a sense of wonder. They imagined themselves as birds, free to explore the world from a new perspective. The sky was the limit, and they were ready to take on the adventure.
"This is going to be amazing!" Mia exclaimed, her eyes sparkling with excitement. She could already feel the thrill of the journey ahead. The airplane was like a magic carpet, ready to whisk them away to a world of endless possibilities.
"Look, the wings have stripes," Leo pointed out, his voice filled with awe. The wings were not just colorful, they were a work of art. Each stripe seemed to tell a story, and Leo couldn't wait to discover what those stories were. "That means it will fly super fast," Pico added, his voice bubbling with excitement. He loved speed, and the idea of flying through the air at lightning speed thrilled him. He imagined the wind rushing past them as they zoomed through the sky, leaving a trail of colors behind.
Pico, who was too excited to speak, bounced up and down. His energy was contagious, and soon Mia and Leo were bouncing with him. They were a bundle of excitement, ready to embark on the adventure of a lifetime, and nodded vigorously in agreement. The airplane was ready, and so were they. With hearts full of excitement and minds brimming with curiosity, they boarded the colorful airplane, ready to take on the skies and discover the wonders that awaited them. They fastened their seatbelts and looked out the window. The plane started to move. It went faster and faster. Soon they were up in the air. The ground looked smaller and smaller. Houses looked like tiny blocks. Cars looked like little ants.
"We're flying!"
Look how small everything is!
Pico let out a happy squeal, pointing at the clouds outside.
"We're gonna touch the clouds."
They flew through fluffy white clouds. It felt like they were swimming in a sea of cotton candy. The sun peeked through the clouds, making them glow. Everything looked bright and magical.
It's like we're floating on a giant marshmallow.
"I bet the clouds taste like cotton candy."
Pico bounced in his seat, his little finger pointing excitedly.
"Look, a cloud mountain."
They saw all sorts of shapes in the clouds. A fluffy bunny, a giant elephant, a funny clown. They even saw cloud creatures waving at them. There were fluffy sheepdogs with cotton ball tails and smiling cloud whales with raindrop eyes.
I see a unicorn!
"And look, a dragon!"
Pico pointed excitedly.
"A cloud castle with a cloud king."
Suddenly, they flew past a beautiful rainbow. It shimmered with all the colors of the rainbow: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. It was truly magical.
Wow!
"I've never seen so many colors."
"The rainbow is tickling the plane."
Mia gasped, her eyes wide with wonder. Leo was mesmerized by the sight. Pico giggled, reaching out to touch the colorful light. Flying was so much fun. They loved looking down at the world below. They felt like they could fly forever.
Being up here makes me feel like a bird.
Chirped Mia, flapping her arms like wings.
"I could fly through the clouds all day long."
Agreed Leo, his face beaming with joy.
"More flying, more flying."
Chanted Pico, bouncing up and down in his seat. Mia, Leo, and Pico started talking about their next adventure. They had just returned from an exciting journey through the enchanted forest, where they had encountered talking animals and magical plants. The thrill of their last adventure still lingered in their minds, and they were eager to embark on a new quest. The possibilities seemed endless, and their imaginations ran wild with ideas. Maybe they would fly to outer space next time. The thought of soaring through the stars, visiting distant planets, and meeting alien creatures filled them with excitement. They imagined themselves floating weightlessly in the vast expanse of space, exploring unknown worlds and discovering new life forms. The idea of being space explorers was thrilling, and they could almost feel the sensation of zero gravity as they envisioned their interstellar journey. Or maybe they would fly to a tropical island with swaying palm trees and sparkling blue water. They could picture themselves lounging on the sandy beaches, feeling the warm sun on their skin, and listening to the gentle waves crashing against the shore. The island would be a paradise, with vibrant coral reefs to explore and exotic wildlife to encounter. They could build sandcastles, collect seashells, and enjoy the beauty of nature in this idyllic setting.
Imagine flying to the moon in a rocket ship. The moon, with its mysterious craters and dusty surface, seemed like the perfect destination for an adventure. They could explore the lunar landscape, bounce around in the low gravity, and maybe even find hidden treasures buried beneath the moon dust. The thought of being astronauts, wearing spacesuits and planting their flag on the moon, filled them with a sense of wonder and excitement.
Exclaimed Mia, her eyes sparkling with possibility. She had always dreamed of exploring the unknown and discovering new places. The idea of venturing into space or visiting a tropical island was like a dream come true for her. She could already see herself taking on the role of a fearless explorer, leading her friends on incredible adventures and making unforgettable memories.
Or diving with dolphins on a tropical island. The thought of swimming alongside these intelligent and playful creatures was enchanting. They could imagine themselves diving into the crystal-clear waters, surrounded by colorful fish and vibrant coral reefs. The dolphins would guide them through the underwater world, showing them hidden caves and secret passages. It would be an adventure filled with wonder and awe as they explored the depths of the ocean and formed a bond with these magnificent animals.
Added Leo, dreaming of warm ocean waters. He had always been fascinated by the sea and its mysteries. The idea of diving into the deep blue and discovering the wonders of the underwater world was a dream he had cherished for a long time. He could almost feel the cool water enveloping him as he swam alongside the dolphins, exploring the vibrant marine life and uncovering the secrets of the ocean.
We could have a picnic on the moon. The idea was both whimsical and exciting. They could imagine spreading out a blanket on the lunar surface, enjoying a meal under the stars, and gazing at the Earth from afar. The moon's unique landscape would provide the perfect backdrop for their picnic, with its rocky terrain and breathtaking views. It would be an adventure unlike any other, combining the thrill of space exploration with the simple joy of sharing a meal with friends.
Shouted Pico, his imagination knowing no bounds. He was always full of creative ideas and loved to dream big. The thought of having a picnic on the moon was just one of the many adventures he envisioned. Whether it was exploring outer space, diving with dolphins, or discovering hidden treasures on a tropical island, Pico was ready for any adventure that came their way. His enthusiasm was infectious, and his friends couldn't help but get excited about the endless possibilities that lay ahead. They learned that the world was a big and exciting place. There was so much to see and explore. Seeing the world from above made it feel even more magical.
The world is so big,
Whispered Mia, awestruck by the vastness of the landscape below.
And so beautiful.
Added Leo, his gaze lost in the panorama of colors and textures.
Flying is the best way to see it all.
Declared Pico, his little face pressed against the window. Mia, Leo, and Pico knew that this was just the beginning of their adventures. They had already experienced so much together, from soaring through the skies to exploring new lands. Each adventure brought them closer as friends and taught them valuable lessons about courage, teamwork, and the power of imagination. They felt a sense of excitement bubbling inside them, knowing that there were countless more adventures waiting just around the corner. They couldn't wait to see where their next flight would take them. The sky was no longer the limit, it was just the beginning. They imagined flying over vast oceans, discovering hidden islands, and meeting new friends along the way. The possibilities were endless, and their hearts raced with anticipation. They learned that flying wasn't just about soaring through the air, it was about soaring with your imagination. Every flight was a new story, a new chapter in their book of adventures. They painted the skies with their dreams, creating a tapestry of colors and wonders that only they could see. It was a magical experience that filled them with joy and wonder.
Next stop, the moon! Pico exclaimed, his eyes sparkling with excitement. He had always dreamed of exploring the stars and planets, and now it felt like that dream was within reach. The idea of walking on the moon, bouncing in the low gravity, and seeing the Earth from space filled him with awe.
Shouted Mia as they disembarked, already planning their next grand adventure. She was always the planner, the one who made sure they had everything they needed for their journeys. Her mind was already racing with ideas for their next trip, whether it was to a distant planet or a hidden treasure island.
Or maybe a jungle safari, Leo suggested, his voice filled with excitement. He loved the idea of exploring dense forests, encountering wild animals, and discovering ancient ruins. The thought of navigating through the jungle, finding hidden paths, and uncovering secrets thrilled him to the core.
Added Leo, his mind overflowing with exciting possibilities. He could already picture the adventures they would have, the challenges they would face, and the memories they would create. Each adventure was a new opportunity to learn, grow, and bond with his friends.
More adventures! More adventures! Pico shouted, his enthusiasm infectious. He couldn't get enough of the thrill of discovery, the joy of exploring new places, and the excitement of the unknown. Every adventure was a new chance to experience something amazing, and he was ready for more.
Pico, unable to contain his enthusiasm, simply jumped up and down, shouting. His energy was contagious, and soon Mia and Leo were jumping and shouting with him. They knew that as long as they had each other, there would always be more adventures to look forward to. The world was full of endless possibilities, and they were ready to explore them all, together.